Welcome to Colney Talk Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. You are listening to Colney Talk Podcast, a bite-sized show. I'm your host, Alex. First-time guest, thank you and welcome. And to my returning listeners, always good to have you back. On the show, I pick out my top 3 Arsenal performers in the game and one player I consider the other guy who just was well below standards or had a poor game. So Arsenal traveled up to Caven Cottage to face Fulham. Whoa, what a beautiful game this was. I was pleased to see the starting lineup and just so glad to see how the team started the game with a great sense of control. There was notable pressure Fulham wanted to present in having us go long, just trying to enforce some sort of tactic in how they want Arsenal to play. The press that they were applying wanted to kind of help them take an advantage. But then, early on, Martinelli's offside goal did give us the advantage, I would say. That helped us to get to another gear, which was great. It helped us really gain more of the momentum going in and trying to score first or really try to get our control. Because as it started, it was quite a cagey first few minutes. And, it was really interesting to see how we're going to manage that. It is expected when you're really playing such a great team away from home and what to expect. So just trying to observe that was quite interesting. Let me just say the away fans were incredible. The singing and the support was so huge. And that just got us going as we got our first goal by Big Gabby. I guess he's very familiar and in scoring against this team. And they helped, and that really helped us step it up. We're firing in the attack, moving with so much fluidity. I haven't seen us move and play in such fluid coordination in a while. Saliba with an interesting effort of a shot, early in the game. I guess he also wanted to try to get his chance in scoring, which was, pretty good. And he felt so confident in that shot, but it was just quite of a, interesting thing to see him do at that early part of the game. And the goals started coming. Gabby scored his own header as well. I guess this was going to be like a header scoring situation. But yeah, that was really great. And it's such a nice, cross from Trossard. Such a good welcome to have him in the starting lineup. Silky passes and control was all you could see when Arsenal were in possession. And against a very physical attack in Fulham, as we know, Arsenal's defense had a stronger poise. And we got better with that as we were just going through a butter slicing series of Fulham's defense. It was just so much more, fluid and just such a coordinated, cohesive movement that we were going against Fulham's defense. And it was just quite an interesting and welcoming, experience that we've now had in a while. As we continued with that, we had 2 clear open chances, but it just didn't happen. One with Trossard where he had a chance, out, and he just shot out wide. And then another where the goal was just at Xhaka's feet. We just have, everyone has those chances and we just miss them, but it was really pleasing to see that our chances just started coming early and fast as we just started taking and growing in ownership of this game. And Arsenal just continued to make history as being the first club to win first 5 consecutive London derbies without conceding a goal. That was such an impressive stat, and it's only Arsenal that has to start this going and for others to follow. And our third goal, it looked like Odegaard had all the time in the world to set himself and shoot in the box. Again, as I said earlier, when the game was really cagey, we didn't have that much of an opportunity to make such entries into their box or even shoot that much in their box. But then as we opened things up, it was just pretty interesting. But then just to see Odegaard have the time, set himself, and then shoot, I was thinking the body would come flying. It just looked so cordial for Fulham's defense in the box. And I guess Odegaard was so quick in his movement, and he just had 1-2 touches and then just shot the ball. But it was pretty interesting. And no, you are not hearing me complain at all. That was just my thought when the ball went in. and it was a nice way to finish the half. And then, since the damage was done, I was expecting game control and management in the second half. Arsenal team didn't let off on the dominance and goal threats and more silky passes. I saw a team playing well and moving the ball with good decision making and interlinking passes. Even in inter-switching positions, Arsenal has always been doing that. To see more of Trossard and Martinelli doing that, I think that was one of the other situations where Fulham's defense just couldn't get a handle on how they would man mark players. And as Arsenal fans created a rather intimidating atmosphere in the ground, just taking over the stadium with a lot of chants. Just about everything you could think about, it felt like this was a home game, and it was just amazing. I mean, these away fans in different grounds continue to do a lot, and their support, what they're doing, just really getting behind the team, does push this team over to get these wins. So a lot of this credit goes to the away fans. Just about halfway point in the second half, we had a good hold on the game until about the 69th minute, where Fulham came close to scoring after a sloppy misread at the back. Fulham used that to kind of start to try to mount an attempt or two to get back into the game, and they did have some close chances. A header that really hit the bar, and a few shots that were just slightly off wide, and no one close around in all box to do something. So they had a few chances that came in different spurts, but then we were able to manage and retain every control that we needed to hold this game out, and we did manage to slow it down a little bit to our advantage. Then the moment that we were all waiting for, the return of Gabriel Jesus at the 76th minute, it was just amazing, and with such a spontaneous roar by the fans. Again, I cannot give enough credit to these away fans. They were just unbelievably great. It was so good. And just a reminder, we were playing away from the Emirates. I mean, the fans, my goodness, just simply incredible. It's good to mention this because you would feel that as you watching the game. I mean, feel the same in other away games, but this felt different. It felt special. I think maybe it was just the same feeling that the fans had in anticipation for Gabriel Jesus getting on the pitch or even having the chance to play, which he did, and that introduction was just amazing. We really all felt the same way in getting him right on the field, and Jesus just got right into it. He got in and he just showed his brilliance. He had a close chance to score laid out by Vieira, which was really nice. In case you forgot about how relentless Jesus is on the ball and carrying it into the box, he just gave us a glimpse and we got it back. And it's just such an exciting feeling to know what's to come when we have all our players, having Odegaard and Jesus all linking up. It's just going to be really, really interesting, and I can't wait to see more of it. I mean, Arsenal, we had a few more chances in the box, in the second half, and then, we just play, and then it was just more like making an attempt to keep pushing for more goals, which we try to do, and then right after that, it was just then played close in management, and then closing out the game. So that was really good. So getting to my top three players. First, Trossard. I mean, so obvious. He was superb in the game, especially in that first half. His assists, his movements, the way he was just, creating chances and openings of Fulham's backline, disrupting how they defended. His switch positions with Martinelli was very key in making other attackers open and vulnerable. Making our attackers open and making the other fans very vulnerable. His defending was just really good as well. I mean, seeing Trossard, fight back to gain possession and then ball recovery more times than I could even think about, just made me take notice. So that was actually just excellent from him. He had his good chance to score that he just, shut out wide. It is what it is, but at least the amount of assist and these good assists in the game, I mean, that would do for now. So yeah, definitely great to have him, perform this well and obviously take the first spot. My second player, Odegaard, El Capitan. I mean, he was just above class today. Silky passes, as you would expect. decent shot on that goal, linking up well with, Saka. I saw flashes of things to come, as I said, when Jesus came in the game, and it was just very exciting. You just, every Arsenal fan, gets that excitement of having Jesus back, but having that, chemistry that they developed earlier in the season, between himself and Odegaard. So yeah, that was great. So it was so exciting to see, how they both picked up on where they left off, and they just, carried the game on and actually made both their games, their gameplay really good, really good. So yeah, I mean, it was such a good game by El Capitan. And then my third and final player, Thomas Partey. He was the general in the midfield, and he bossed it majority of the game. Handled the press really well. He dictated our angles of pressure and how the flow of the passes were really coming. In fact, even his pass for that second goal started out from him, and pass it off to Xhaka, and then the whole motions started going through from Trossard into Martinelli. So that was really pretty. That was really brilliant. Minus a few blow by situations where Andreas Pereira had, and he had a shot. Partey played a really good game, and smoothly got the team into transitions when we were pinned back, in our own third, and a lot more of the start in the second half, where he handled everything, the pressure, and just being so press resistant and really just moving the ball so smoothly. I mean, kudos to him today. Really, really good game. And for today's game, I don't have the other player. I mean, a few mistakes here and there didn't warrant me to just throw in any player for the sake of it. Every player did play well, and most of the others that came in contributed to good game control that we had overall. So, I mean, in some moments we had some very uncomfortable actions. A few passes too close for comfort. Ramsdale for one, Zinchenko. I think I'm really hoping we can cut this back as much as possible, because for these other teams, and as we get closer to very high pressure situations in these run-ins of games now, we just have to cut out these mistakes as much as we can, because it demands it, because now it's going to be a game of margins to keep our lead. And kind of in this situation, we were lucky, I'll just say that. In defense, special mention for Saliba handling Mitrovic in the game. He just really took control, being a shadow on him, and just cut down all his stats. I think he had 3 shots in the game, so that was a lot, and it was such a physical battle between him and I think Saliba came out on top. He wasn't bullied or spun around. He just didn't sort of have some sort of like he didn't dominate him in any way. Saliba, I think in the physical duels, I'll give the advantages to Saliba, which he really deserves, and he kept him quiet in our box. Our game plan as well moved Mitrovic out of position quite a few times, so it kind of helped take away or take off the pressure from Saliba and how much he had to defend him. I'll leave it for here now, folks. Trossard, Odegaard, and Partey make up my top 3 players, and no other player as the other guy today. Huge congratulations to Mikel Arteta for his 100th win. He has indeed turned this club around into a world-class football club. Celebrate this win, folks. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Take care.